Right. Ross Feingold and Mark Sutherland, thank you very much for joining me. We'll keep a close eye on all these fast-paced developments that are taking place right now in Utah. Manhunt still underway. There have been no conclusive information that has been shared by the FBI, by the police officials about who this assassin is. I'm going to shift my focus to the other big news. Nepal's army will be resuming talks with the Gen Z protesters to decide the new interim leader for the Himalayan nation after angry demonstrations that killed at least 30 people and forced the Prime Minister of the country to resign. Soldiers continue to patrol the quiet streets of Kathmandu, the capital, and the neighboring regions that were struck by violence in the last 3 days. And its worst protests that were witnessed in many years that were triggered by a social media ban and big allegations of corruption amongst the elite and political leaders. We're also getting to know that the Army Chief of Nepal has now met the former Chief Justice of India, who is being tipped as the person who is going to be appointed as the interim Prime Minister of Nepal to lead the nation in these uncertain times. Meanwhile, the curfew in Nepal, in 3 regions particularly, that is Kathmandu and 2 other areas adjoining Kathmandu, have been put on curfew, extended curfew. There was, of course, lifting of curfews to allow for essential services to resume for just a few hours, but the curfew has been put back on and it is going to continue up until Friday morning 6 a.m. while the army and the police monitor the situation and then find it fit as to when the curfew can be lifted. Listen in to some protesters who are speaking to the media.
I was injured while I was protesting on September 8, but I came back again on September 9. And what I witnessed and what I wanted was the freedom of Nepali youths. The voices of Nepal was suppressed, and people were, taken. The government was suppressing us, with the social media ban and with all the corruption going around, and we didn't have any opportunity for the employment.
Corrupt politicians must be thrashed out on this parliament, and new generation, new leader should be implemented here. Though the leader must have good vision, can satisfy our generation and everyone. So this fight is for against corruption. So we are not going to see any corruption in coming days. That's why
we just don't want old leaders, but the leaders that are doing good should, and that had not involved in corruption should, are okay, but the old leaders and old parties should not get involved. These are the things that I want. And similarly, what I will be doing right now is currently, like, I'm just pursuing my degree, and this I'm just uplifting my skills, and currently I will support our nation for what I can do and for what I can bring with my IT knowledge and all.
अब हामीले हाम्रो देश बनाउँछ भने हाम्रोलाई भन्दा पनि राम्रोलाई रोज्नु पर्यो, राम्रो र सोच राम्रो होस्, भिजन राम्रो होस्, उसले आफ्नो बारेमा नसोच्नुलाई हामीले अब भविष्य सुन्किनु पर्यो देशको।
अस्तिसम्म चाहिँ के सोच्थेँ भने म बाहिर गएर के गर्छु, यहाँ केही फ्युचरै छैन, म अब +2 भर्खर क्लियर गरेको, म बाहिर गएर के गर्छु भन्ने सोच्थेँ मेरो। तर अब मेरो सोच पुरै बदलियो। अब मेरो सोच यहाँ नेपाल बनाउने हो, म नेपालमा के गर्छु र के गरेर यहाँ नेपाल बनाउँछु, नेपालमै बस्छु, मेरो भविष्य त्यही छ।
Rupinder Sachdev is on the telecast. Rupinder, the voices of the youth speak in unison that they were struggling in their own country to earn a livelihood while the elite were enjoying a very lavish, pompous lifestyle. These people have now come out on the streets. They are speaking to the media And they are saying that they want a leader who's going to work selflessly for the country's development and welfare of its citizens, who's not going to be self-centered. In fact, there are at this point of time hopes being expressed by these youth, saying that their intention was to travel abroad to earn their living because of lack of opportunities back home. But now they have a mindset change after KP Oli has been ousted from the position of the Prime Minister. Do you think there is a hope for Nepal to be transformed, and how many years is that going to take?
Thank you, Megha. Always a pleasure to be with you. I would say there certainly is hope. Hope springs eternal in the human breast. Now, that said, the situation on the ground is definitely very surprising. Let's put it that way. And it also goes to show, the subterranean sentiments which are there amongst the people, let's say the people of Nepal, were not known or maybe understood by the government of Nepal, which is there. It's like, a pressure cooker was building up and then suddenly the pressure cooker has burst. So there does seem to be huge angst, frustration, disappointment, anger at a bunch of things thrown together, as you highlighted very well. The issue being corruption, yes, and that is unfortunately a fact. We have seen it, we've seen it personally. Many of the elite of countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, they have expensive apartments and investments in the West, be it Dubai, London, New York, penthouses and all. And I think in today's day and age, when information is much more fluid and easily available, the people of Nepal are realizing that, okay, our elite are there, they are corrupt, it seems. That's why this terminology has also come out, Nepo kids, that is, nepotism is rampant in Nepal. On the other hand, unemployment, I think, was running at around 22%. And as also, I must congratulate your reports, as you're highlighting each one of those folks that you spoke with, they were saying that they felt or they feel that they have no future in Nepal. Another reason or another aspect is that, in Nepal, the two big parties are in a strange way bedfellows in the uh, in ruling the country, right? So the opposition which is there is smaller parties, fragmented, etc. The big two which are there have made a grand bargain together. So there is no alternative also, politically speaking, it seems.
Right.
Now, that said, yeah, we have to see how the transition happens with this ex-Chief Justice. Apparently, she's a respected person in the country and the army. But will this transition be smooth, let's say? Maybe that's an incorrect word, but will it proceed while violence is also happening? Or
Yeah.
the
Yes,
bottom line
absolutely.
is
Will,
that
will, will this,
violence
will
should
this
stop.
bring about the much needed impact and change that the people of Nepal, the youth of Nepal at this point in time are sincerely hoping? Thank you, Rubinder Sachdev, for joining me and sharing your views. I'm going to shift my focus to the other big development.